Um, Good afternoon. Welcome to the London Space Apps presentations in local judging. So we're going to be hearing from seven teams in London who decided to participate in the local judging. And there's going to be a global judging as well, with different levels, as well as the third one, which is the UK level. So we will be hearing from very first team in a little while. Meanwhile, I'd like to just play a small video, which I'm sure everyone will find interesting, and then we'll get on with the local presentation. Give me a minute.
This is Margaret Hamilton, head of the team that develops the onboard flight software that landed us on the moon. She coined the term software engineering, got a special prize from NASA, got a Presidential Medal of Freedom. 50 years after the moon landing, what if she got a thank you from the moon? This is the Ivanpah Solar Facility. Hundreds of thousands of car-sized mirrors reflecting the sun to create energy. What do they do at night? What if we thought of them as pixels? Hundreds of thousands of pixels, individually positioned to reflect the moon, forming an image visible from the sky. A 1.4 square mile canvas, bigger than Central Park, bigger than over 200 Eiffel Towers put together. Is that even possible? Calculate the trajectory of the moon, find the perfect angle in Earth studio, record the aerial coordinates. Talk to these people in California that run Ivanpah.
It's Pat Kossman and the operations team at Ivanpah.
Call the engineers in Israel that control the mirrors.
We have Gil and Dotten and also Neta.
Can we point those mirrors at the moon to create a giant image of Margaret Hamilton made of moonlight?
Just 1 minute. You need to think about it.
I can't give a positive answer yet.
Contact Margaret Hamilton. Find a photo of Margaret, make it into a tribute, make it into pixels. Translate that for 107,555 mirrors. Only one more full moon before the anniversary of the moon landing. We need to talk to Margaret.
Hi, Margaret.
Hi.
Next week, we're going to be going out and hoping to create a giant portrait of you on this entire field.
That's a lot to do between now and then.
Go to Ivanpah.
Hi, we're here from Google.
We just arrived. It's our first time seeing the towers all lit up, which is pretty amazing.
Watch a safety video. Put on snake boots, watch out for wildlife, meet a tortoise.
Hey, tourists.
Call Israel, more math. Wait for sundown, position the mirrors, track the moon, take to the sky.
Margin for air is extremely slim. 430 is going to be the cutoff because that's when we lose the moon.
Not high enough, 40-mile-per-hour winds, lose communication, adjust coordinates, moon set, time set, not tonight.
Even if we miss the target in 1 degree, you will not see anything.
Recalculate sunrise, breakfast. One last chance. Moonrise, 99.3% illuminated. Steady, climbing, searching, find it, 1 point in the sky. There's Ivanpah, there's the moon, there's Margaret Hamilton.
Yeah, I think that was the best. It was gorgeous, man, like amazing.
Take a picture. Margaret by moonlight.
Okay, so I hope that was interesting for everyone. So we have the first team here. We're just waiting for some of their other team members to connect. It seems that only one is here. I can see 4 names, but only one is here. But I'm gonna add the first team member, and the first team that's gonna present is second is Attack on Zombie Cats. So that's a very interesting name. Let me bring in one of the team members. Hi, Sunny.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Are
good.
you able
thank you.
to turn your camera on?
Yes. Well, one moment,
Okay.
please.
I can see the names of your three other team members, but I cannot add them to the stream because for some reason it's saying that their devices are not connected. I
Oh,
don't know if there's a way for you to ping them, but no worries. Hopefully they will reconnect, and I'm hoping that they can hear us actually. But maybe we can just get started first with you, maybe doing a quick introduction of yourself, while I'll try and ping them. Do you want to do that?
okay.
Yeah, maybe just
So
do a quick intro of yourself, your team, and why you like maybe chose the name and what challenge you're trying to solve. Okay, go ahead, Sunny.
Mhm. Okay, so we're a team Attack on Zombie Cat, and we are all currently in year 10. So we first heard about the challenge from our computing teacher, and we thought it was very interesting. And at school, we generally participate in competitions like this, so we decided to join. And from yesterday, we have been researching the topic of sleep shift schedule, factors that can affect astronauts, and things like that. And it's been quite interesting and informative so far.
That's great. So how did you come up with the name?
The zombie cat part is so it's sort of an inside joke within the group, and we've sort of been using it as a team name across various competitions since we were in year 7. And the attack on part is a TV show that we all really like.
Okay, interesting. And so all four of you have been working together for a while.
Yes.
Okay, great. And are you the one who's going to be presenting?
So we were hoping that we could share our screen onto the stream. Is that possible?
Yes. Are there going to be several people presenting,
Yes,
or
but
just
is
yourself?
it possible? No, it's going to be all of us, but is it possible to add them to
Yes,
this
but I cannot. Okay, now I can see Anna. I sent all of them. Anna, can you turn on the camera? Hi, Anna. Right, so
Hi.
we're trying to get hold of Lena and Matsumita. It's early for you to ping both of them. Maybe Sunny while Anna is doing a quick intro. So Anna, if you can like introduce yourself quickly while Sunny is trying to ping the other two team members. Go ahead, Anna.
I'm Anna, and I'm part of Attack on Zombie Cats. And we're currently looking at optimizing the sleep shift schedule for astronauts.
Sounds interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the presentation. As I'm hoping your other two members will be connecting very very soon. Um, so let's wait a little bit. Okay, here. Hi, Lena.
Hello.
Can you turn your camera on?
Can you see me?
Oh, hi, Lena. Hi. All right. So can you quickly introduce yourself as well while we're waiting for Matsumita to join?
Well, I'm in year 10, Lady L Novelist School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, Mathemita, I see that you're on the call now as well. Can you turn your camera on?
Hello.
Hi. Okay. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
I'm Mathemita, and I'm in year 10, and I go to LEH. Yeah.
Great. So, welcome to all of you. And yeah, I'm very happy to see a lot of young women joining the hackathon because I do a lot of work in the women in tech space in London. So yeah, I'm very supportive of women and girls trying to get into tech or STEM. Okay, so why don't we have around 3 minutes before you can before you you might want to start because we want to wait for people to to be watching the presentation as well. Are there other things you might want to share with us? I know Sunny said that you have been working together for a while. Anything else? Any other insight on the team and what else you are planning to do? After the Space Apps Hackathon. Anyone?
Well, we've also signed up for another challenge, which is also it's to do with sustainability and thing. Um, so we're looking forward to that.
Okay, so when is that happening?
So it's a research project all the way up until I think mid-January, and we're like Lena said, investigating sustainability and mainly organic food waste in the kitchen and developing a compost system for that.
That's great. Yeah, that's very interesting. It keeps you all busy, you know, especially. Oh, but you're all back in school, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And how's that going? I mean, are they practicing social distancing and all that?
Yeah, we have to wear in corridors. The desks are moved apart.
Yeah, so it's a new way of, doing things. Right, so I think we can get started with your presentation. So my understanding is that you're all going to be presenting?
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to tell me who's going to go first so yeah, you can share your screen and then I can add it to the stream so people can see your presentation. So who's going to do it first?
So we have made a presentation together and it's on Google Slides. So the idea was that we all go through it together and we get different slides each.
Okay, yeah. So who's gonna be controlling the presentation? So if the person can share the screen, so we can see the slides.
How
Is
do
it
you
gonna be you,
share a
Sunny?
screen?
Who's sharing the screen?
Sorry, is there a button that we can press? We're not
Yeah.
quite sure how we do that.
So if you share screen, you should see a button for it. And then, are you using Chrome
I'm on
as a
Safari
browser?
on my
Should still be okay. If you just click on share screen and then share either window, yeah, maybe a window, share a window, or share your computer. Make sure you click on share audio as well.
I'm sorry, is this only available for the on computer? Because I don't think it's on the iPad.
Is there someone else who can like share the slides, and then you can all talk through it?
I can't find the button to share.
Um, at the bottom of the screen, you should see share screen.
It gives us an option for mic cam and leave.
Oh, nothing for share screen.
No.
Okay, that is interesting. Right, let's figure it out. Oh, or do you want to share your slides with me, and then I can kick it off,
Okay.
and then you can all talk through it. It's a good thing we have a lot of time. So if you just share that with me, I can pull it up. Okay. So for folks watching, we're just trying to sort out the sharing screens and all that. I think we lost Matumita. Is someone sharing it with me? Okay. And Sunny, are you the one sharing it or someone else? Hi, Sunny. Are you the one sharing it?
I'm working on that right now. I think I can actually share my screen now by myself because I've switched to my computer.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's good.
Okay, I'm just
That would
this
be a
up.
lot better. Okay. We've got time, so that's fine. Okay, meanwhile, let me play that video again. Let's see. Let me know when you've shared your screen and I can add it to the stream so people can see it. Meanwhile, we'll play this video.
I think I shared it.
You did. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, I can. Oh, I can see. Yeah. There you go. We got there. All right. So, should we wait for Matumita to come back or?
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay. Let someone you say we need her. There you go. We can.
Um,
And am I seeing your
woman, please.
screen correctly? Okay.
Let me try again.
Okay. We have Matumita back as well.
I've emailed it to your email address.
Okay. Sunny has also shared it. Let me just see. Okay, there you go. We got there. Oh, that looks nice.
Can you
All
see
right.
this?
Okay. So I'm gonna leave the four of you to do the presentation. So go ahead.
We are Attack on Zombie Cats, and we will be sharing with you our recap so far on sleep shift schedule of astronauts.
So first we're going to talk about launching and how it affects an astronaut's sleep schedule, sleep pattern. So launching is obviously when the shuttle departs from Earth, and as the after leaving the Earth's atmosphere, astronauts begin to feel the first symptoms of space adaptation syndrome, also known as space sickness. And many of the first symptoms, many common symptoms, include nausea, dizziness, and sometimes vomiting, which can be quite debilitating, especially if you have to do tasks as an astronaut. This is due to the loss of gravity, which causes the vestibular system and visual system to fall out of sync with each other. This can have negative impacts on a person's sleep pattern, as it can disrupt sleep, and obviously it's not nice to be nauseous all the time and be dizzy all the time. So a solution, astronauts could be encouraged to take time out of their schedules to meditate for at least 15 minutes or until the symptoms reduce in severity, as sources say that focusing on something or just simply closing their eyes can help subside the symptoms. Also, astronauts could be given some form of medication or drug to ease the effects of space sickness, similar to motion sickness pills here on Earth.
Docking. Docking is the process of joining two separate free-flying space vehicles together. It requires astronauts to slam shift their sleep patterns, which causes sleep disruption. On average, space station astronauts and shuttle astronauts sleep for 6 hours per night, whilst they should be getting 8.5. Rapid schedule changes are a problem, but so is exposure to light at times when astronauts are scheduled to sleep. The crew members will often look out the cupola windows to get a view of Earth during a scheduled sleep time, which can expose them to a bright blast of sunlight and inhibit their ability to sleep.
And the solution to help with fatigue after docking is much like just after covering a night shift. And according to the Spanish Society of Primary Care Physicians, a short sleep after lunch, also known as a siesta, can help reduce stress, help with cardiovascular functions, and improve alertness and memory. And for the first 2 days, as astronauts are still adapting to the microgravity environment, this would really help with them and the slam shift of the docking process. And we thought that we shouldn't increase their sleep time after docking, as oversleeping can cause even more fatigue, and we don't want that for the astronauts.
Circadian rhythm. So the problem is, in space, the lack of a daily cycle of sunlight surrounding the same range of intensities of sunlight and color temperatures experienced on Earth is the main cause of sleep disorders in space. Production of melatonin can be inhibited by light, such as cool white light or blue light, such as looking on a screen, for example. To help to regulate sleep cycles and improve the efficiency and quality of sleep, control of the melatonin production cycle is important.
The solution. Light therapy can be used to treat sleep disorders. A lighting system was created by NASA. They have developed a solid-state illumination fixture with a full intensity and color temperature control. Light intensity varies from a low night level to daylight. Blue LED lights could also be added around the shuttle to assist with circadian rhythm adaptation. The ESA is investigating preventive treatments such as melatonin and other drugs which could be used to combat insomnia. Night shift data. Figure 1 presents the generality symptoms of insomnia and wake time sleepiness during the 3 work shifts and days off. Among the SWSD subjects, the most common insomnia symptoms to be answered almost always were feeling unrestored after sleep and waking up earlier than one's attention. 12 of 14 SWSD subjects answered almost always to items about insomnia symptoms only in the case of a night shift. The JAXA SWSD night shift data. Figure 2 shows actigraphic recordings of subjects adapting to their shift work. It shows an example of an SW shift work sleep disorder subject subjectively adapting to shift work. Subjects slept twice, once in the daytime and once in the evening, before reporting to the night shift duty between their consecutive night shifts. This sleep pattern involves taking naps before reporting to their night shift duty. Figure 3 shows the SWSD subjects indicating long TIBs, time in bed, during and after the consecutive night shift period. There were relatively long awakenings which appeared around 7 to 8 to 9 o'clock between consecutive night shifts on Saturday and Sunday. The subject was in bed attempting to fall asleep but was unable to fall asleep during that time period.
So, mindfulness can help astronauts with sleeping and general mental health. Astronauts are aware of the dangers of spaceflight. An experienced astronaut said in an interview that if you're not just a little afraid, you don't know what's happening. They're bound to feel stressed and anxious. This could lead to disrupted sleep and the lack of concentration. People make excuses for not including meditation in their daily schedule. Common beliefs are that you need to be a professional for it to work and that it takes years to truly benefit from it. So solutions to these are that mindfulness helps reduce stress and anxiety and will improve overall mental health. It will also help astronauts relax and will improve their sleep, making them feel more refreshed and concentrated during the day. Astronauts will be encouraged to practice meditation routinely, every day for 20 minutes during their relaxation time. They will be able to choose from a few suggestions of easy techniques. These include exercises such as grounding exercises, such as the 5-4-3-2-1 technique, which is 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Breathing exercises, which encourage focusing on your breathing and the present moment, and body scan meditation, which gradually relaxes every part of your body.
Building on what Lena said, for the daily schedule, I've added in a specific section where the astronauts are they have free time to practice their mindfulness and to help. There are mindfulness journals, and this could help with them staying away from screens. This helps with mental health. And we also had the idea that in their individual sleep pods and on the International Space Station, the astronauts can play in calming tracks such as white noise, ocean waves, or whatever they choose that have been proved to help with sleep for a certain amount of time and turn off after, say, 2 hours into their sleep. And that will help with having a solid sleep and staying asleep.
Their diets can also help fatigue prevention. So foods that are especially high in nutrients and fiber help, and additionally carbohydrates and fats are good as they release energy over a long period of time, rather than foods that are high in sugar, which give a short burst of energy. Iron is needed for red blood cells to carry oxygen around the body effectively. This helps wake them up. And astronauts need to be well hydrated because dehydration can increase speed. Additionally, proper hydration increases mental health, and improves well.
You got around 1 minute.
So I've created a whole day schedule starting from 0 o'clock for the astronauts to follow, and this can be shifted to adjust the mission control. So I have that 8.5 hours of sleep, 6.5 hours for allocated tasks, and 2.5 hours of exercise. And so after waking up, in 15 minutes, they have time to do morning inspections, sample collections, and just to do morning tasks before eating breakfast. And according to researchers, breakfast shouldn't be eaten 2 hours after awake, so this works with that. And after breakfast, they have 2 hours and 40 minutes to do more tasks, and within this time, the app would remind them to take an hour to exercise to follow the regimen. And lunch is at 1 hour, and they have an hour for lunch. This would also be a communal event, as having lunch and food together with friends and nationals in the International Space Station is known to have good benefits for the mental health. And after lunch, they have all the way up to 7 o'clock to do more allocated tasks, and they have another 1.5 hours of exercise, and the app created will remind them to do that. And dinner, once again, is a communal event for an hour to help them to sort of get to have communication, to talk with each other on the International Space Station. And after dinner, it's mainly free time, but if they still have tasks that need to finish, they have time to do that. And 11:30 is bedtime.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt because we're out of time for the team. So I mean that was a good presentation, and good luck to everyone. And make sure that you complete your projects on the platform by 11:59 p.m. today, so that for the judging for global. So thank you very much for to the four of you, and I'm gonna bring in the next team now, with Chariot. Okay. Right, so we have our next team, Chariot here. I'm gonna add Tim and Anastasia. Who else have we got? Do we have Vlad?
Yes, but had internet problem, so we will do.
Okay, so just the two of you. So if he can join later, then that, that would be good. We'll bring him in. So maybe you can just quickly introduce yourselves before we get started with your presentation, and introduce your team as well. Like why did you choose the name Chariot, and also what challenge. So we start with you, Tim.
Hello, my name is Tim. I am a data scientist and ML specialist. We choose the Chariot name because we think we can be the Chariot in the world of the technology. So our app is just MVP, but will allow you to convert Chariot to real working fast car.
Great. How about yourself, Anastasia? Hang on a second. Let's add her back. Hang on.
Hello, my
Oh,
name is
hi.
my English is very bad.
Go ahead. Okay. What's the name? That name for the team.
Can I start sharing screen right now?
Sorry, Tim. Go ahead. What did you say?
Can I start your screen right now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if you want to get started. Let's do that. So share your screen and I will add it to the stream. Okay. There we have it. Go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you very much for the organization such event like a SPACEAPPS challenge. And our solution is my race system. We solve the problem home planet at your fingertips. This is small information about our roles in the team. And also we developed small landing site which you can download the test version of our app. So here we go. So you can see our source code on GitHub and send the request to us to the iOS test flight. So what's our solution? Our solution is an application and the special API which can allow user to analyze data from NASA's space agencies, from Canada's space agencies, and users' own datasets. And each user has ability to visualize the data and the result of analysis via graphs, maps, and using AR. User can make prediction based on the data using different regressions, such as polynomial regression, can validate their models using cross-validation algorithms, and clustering the unlabeled data using k-mean clustering. And few more machine learning algorithms are included in our software. We translated our app to 5 languages, such English, Hindi, Russian, Arabic, and Chinese. And we developed an innovative model for SDK such as Xcode Android Studio, which allows to developer to add their own languages in few clicks. So we developed special script based on machine learning translation, and app can use it to localize the source code and also the strings and labels in the app in a few seconds. Also, we developed a special API for developers and researchers, which can add our algorithms, can analyze the data on our server. And for now, we during these 2 days tested our API with 5 teams from the different location of NASA SpaceApps. And this is some screenshots of our app. So we developed the registration. After the registration, add some examples of data analyzing, and user can add their own data and provide more data sets from NASA data platform or NASA ES platform. And for example 1, the user can use polynomial regression to predict next values based on time series dataset and visualize the result on the graphs. For example, you can use our software to predict carbon dioxide time series, global warming, and carbon dioxide reduction. And second example is using for characterize the data and find anomalies in the data and make the analysis of new uncategorized data. For example, if someone will find new metals or new different islands or something like that, our app will be clusterize them quickly. And for example, the user can use our algorithm to categorize the meteorites and their landing on the ears. The third example, we developed image recognition function to allow user offline load their own trained models to our mobile app and use it. For example, we trained few models to analyze and recognize objects from NASA satellites. This solution is also unique. We search on Pathbase, on Google Patterns, and we on that, so we don't have any analogs to our function with loading models in a compiled app. And now I want to show you the demo of the app and demo of our API. So our app is now a review on App Store, and now you can download it from test flight. 1 second. So we have the simple registration form and authorization form. Yes, some login details, and look at 1 second. I want wrong password. Okay, here we go. So we start from matrix landing. So the matrices are categorized using the file or just found. Also, we have interacting map view with the information about the matrices and when and where they fell, and the MS also. Okay. And the next thing is file growth analysis. This use same technology, but also it can analyze the goals of the file. For example, this nature goals and some random. Here you can see the everything is very working. So the user can use to visualize any data from the NASA areas on the map. The next is categorization of carbon dioxide in Amazon forest during time series. For example, the graphs is also working. And the user can analyze the time series and make their prediction based on the data set. For example, here the system found the best polynomial degree for model trained is 5 degree, and the algorithm predict next values in the time series. Also, for the example of loading trained model. So you just select it from your device. This is also in a few seconds. For example, here is analyzing the object and the sets from the NASA satellites. Loading that and the data is predicted. Or for example, here just forest. We can load another model, this file model, and analyze the files from NASA's satellites in real time. And the next thing is our API for developers. So you can just click plus and you open our landing, which shows some of our function for developers. And simple example of it. And how it looks for the developer. So the developer can download our simple Python file, or it can be switched for iOS and Java for Android. And the developer needs to send the data to our server. For example, here.
Okay, so we have around 1 minute.
Okay. So you can see that this is the position of carbon dioxide emission, and the developer needs to upload the data from pandas and send it to our server. Everything is on GitHub, so users can see our source code, and the developer can modify the apps using our written right now. And so the connection between the user and our server is absolutely secure under a certificate, so it's secure HTTPS connection, and also we use a lot of version of TLS for the reading. In this future, we think the students or small researchers can easily develop their data using our algorithm or API in a few seconds.
Okay, is that the end of your presentation, Tim? Okay. Thanks for that. So we're just gonna wait for the next team to join. But while we're waiting, can you tell me how you like got to working together? Did you know each other before Space Apps Hackathon, or did you just like connect online?
We are studying with each other, and we start to participate in the hackathon, and everything that we developed here is developed during these 2 days. So you can see the proofs on GitHub with a lot of pull requests, so with more than 25 pull requests, and we work during these 2 days without this list, so you can see that also on GitHub.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you both for joining us. Gonna bring in the rest of the next team. Sorry. And yeah, just make sure that you submit your projects by 11:59 p.m. tonight to make sure that you are part of the global judging. And thanks again.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna bring in. Thank you. So I'm gonna bring in Team Debris Destroyers. We have Sean, Liam. We don't
Hello.
have the rest of the team yet. I think we're missing Karan and who else? Dean, am I right?
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll call in. But yeah, while we're waiting for them, why don't you introduce yourselves first? So shall we start with you, Sean? Oh, you're on mute somehow. We can't hear you, Sean.
Hi,
Hi.
I am Sean Boyle. I live in the UK in the Berkshire, near London. Yeah. Our project is we chose the I don't know the official name. Sorry, it's the video game about
I think it's
debris and
yeah, it's the
yeah.
debris. Sorry, I can't remember.
Yeah. We designed a video game where you could you could explore the debris going around the planet and collect it, and then and it shows various ways you can collect it, as well as different ways different uses for the debris, like to sell it, and so there's a monetary incentive for businesses.
Okay. On next, Liam, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh,
Hello, I'm
Sorry.
Liam. I'm also from Brighton. So is that like echoing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also from Bracknell. This is my first time doing a SPACEAPPS challenge, so I didn't really know what to expect, and I feel like there's like an awful lot more. Like I did like a lot in the time, so overall I'm proud of what I did.
Okay. How about you, Dean?
Hello.
Go ahead.
Just tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, just tell us a bit about
All
yourself.
right. Yeah. This is also my first SpaceApps challenge. I didn't really know it was happening until about Friday morning, so I quickly signed up so I could do it. So I thought it'd be quite a good opportunity to do this. And it definitely was.
Okay.
Wait, is Karan here?
So he was here, but he dropped out. I think he's been trying to connect. So I'm sure he'll come back, and I'll add him to the stream. So who's gonna be doing the presentation? Are you all doing it with one person driving the slides, or how are we gonna do
Yeah,
that?
I think I'm gonna be like sharing my screen, and then everyone will like talk.
Okay.
We're just like taking slides.
Do we need to wait for Karen before we get started, or can he come in midstream?
I feel like it would be preferable if he was here, but.
Okay. He's not here.
Oh wait, oh no, we have a video, so we can show that first, I guess.
Okay, so can you share that one?
Oh yeah.
Is that part of the presentation though? Like part of the 5 minutes?
I guess so, yeah. So we haven't really like timed ourselves too much.
Okay, although we haven't been really, as long as we end by the end time for your sessions. Fine. Okay, so why don't you share? Oh, okay. Actually, Karen is back. Why don't we just go ahead with your presentation?
There we go. Hello,
Karen,
can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
Can you turn your camera on?
I've actually tried to fix my camera. It's not working for some reason.
Don't worry about that then. Yourself maybe.
Yeah, hello, I'm Karan. I'm from Bracknell, Berkshire, like Sean and Liam. And this is my second time doing SpaceApps, actually. And it was, our first time was pretty exciting. We worked on the isolation solution. And we made a connected fitness device that time. And this time I'm working with debris destroyers, and I'm very excited to be here.
Great. We're excited to have you as well. Right. So, Liam, why don't you go ahead with your with the presentation, and then you can all obviously to presenting it. If you share your screen, I can add it to the stream so people viewing can see it.
So, can you see that?
Yep. Hang on a second. Right. Okay, we got there in the end. So go ahead.
Also, I don't know how to like get rid of that little bottom bar. This.
If you click on, is there an expand or something?
Doesn't seem to. Oh wait, I think. But like.
You got it.
It's okay. It's not that.
Yes, back.
Okay.
Just go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're our team debris destroyers.
I don't think the sound's working.
Is there supposed to be sound? Okay. If you stop, then
Oh, so was there not sound on that?
No, there wasn't sound.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you stop sharing and then share it again, and then there's a checkbox at the bottom that says share audio.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Got it. Okay. So share the screen again, and then. Okay, I'm not seeing it yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm not. It's not working. I don't know what it's doing.
Should someone else try and share?
And make sure you click on that checkbox that says share audio.
Oh, is it sharing now?
Okay, perfect. Hang on. Right. Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
Space travel is facing a threat from space debris. We've created a game to help make you informed on how to combat this. Our game includes 3D graphics, real-world NASA research, and a guaranteed good time. Our solution intends to educate, inspire, and challenge those who play. The future of space travel lies before us. Will we go to the stars, or will our journey end before it has even started?
All right, wait. So yeah, we chose the orbital scrap metal game. So John, would you like to talk about our initial ideas? Oh wait. Oh wait.
Oh, me?
Actually, wait. So no. Could you talk about like why we chose the challenge? Actually, sorry.
Oh, okay. We chose the challenge because it seemed like something like really interesting, and to be honest, a lot of them were really interesting. But this one, I think, particularly, it felt like it was, and it was also something that was kind of within reach. You know, it's not something that seems like really far off and unattainable. And I think it felt like we could have a real impact. And honestly, it just sounded like a lot of fun. And yeah, so we wanted to give it our best. So.
Aaron,
would you like to...
Yeah, these are some of the ideas we had at first. We wanted to make sure that that players had a way to interact with the debris and also to be able to actually do something with it rather than just collecting. So as you can see with most of these include some sort of collection or economy system. These are not all of them. These are just some of the ones I selected out of the list of them because there were quite a few. During the same time as we thought of the ideas, we also thought of different ways we could actually do this challenge and what sort of programs and softwares we'd actually be needing. Here's the one we actually came up with. We mixed some of them.
All right, so like I chose an idea was like to have like a debris collection game where you have a spaceship, you fly around, and you're trying to like collect the debris. You can sell it to upgrade your ship, or like you know, or like just kind of collecting money as like a sort of point system.
And it's just like kind of a fun way to represent what's possible, I think.
Yeah. So like when we were designing it, we had like two people doing the coding, so it's me and Sean. So I was responsible for like the main menu and like the economy system, and we decided to like use Unity since we've both like had C# experience.
But it was this was our first proper Unity project, so we were learning along the way, and I think that was a lot of fun. We definitely got a lot better as we went. Yeah.
It's like on the main menu, it's just like a basic sort of like you click start and it takes you to either the game or the economy menu. It's like, Sean, would you like to talk about playing like the game?
Yeah. So you have, it's basically a ship, and you can buy tools for the ship, such as the starting one, which is the net. And you can kind of see in the picture there's a net in front of the ship, and you can use that to collect space debris. And the idea is you can catch it and take it to a recycling plant, and then use that to sell, and then later buy more things. So then we also have a selection of futuristic tools for collecting debris, such as maybe, I don't know, a gravity gun. So it can just like attract them all into one spot, and it would be really easy to collect them. But so that's the general idea, just giving an idea of what's possible with the debris.
Yeah, and we like breaking down the debris into different like sort of raw resources, which you can then sell in a variety of ways. So like make people think about how we can use debris and like make a profit out of removing it from the atmosphere.
I think that's the way you get businesses interested.
Yes, I think this is just like some of the code that we used in our game.
Yes.
This is at least the right part of it is the gravity, right?
Yeah, this is the left part is to do with it's the orbiting of the objects around the planet and things, and then that's you can see it's like there's some random numbers generating so that they all have random paths around the planet, so it's more fun to collect, you know. And the right side is just the control and collision of the ship.
Now, research, right? Research is crucial to designing anything, any game, or just like most things in general. You always need research. I personally believe that research is one of the most important things that a company or someone designing a game can consider. Because if you know what you need to do, if you know what's been scientifically proven, then you can paint a better picture in our case, the user's head. So we did extensive research on orbital debris, on what types of debris there actually is. So, and we found out there's pieces of spacecraft, maybe tiny flecks of paint, or parts of rockets or satellites that are no longer working. This information was crucial because now that we know what's there, we can design our game around it and actually inform people accurately using real world data about what there actually is in space. And fun fact, even a tiny fleck of paint can damage a thing orbiting greatly because of the speeds that in Earth orbit objects reach. And I looked at how it can affect humanity, how it can affect space travel as a whole, and we tried our best to reflect this within our game.
So like in actually putting the data into the game, well, like we do recognize that there are like lots of majority of space debris is like tiny like specks of paint. We felt like having a game where you're collecting like specks of paint would be quite uninteresting. So instead we use like most of the types that were like larger, so like a broken down satellite and stuff like that. We also looked at like the space birds, so we wrote a program to convert the CSV file of that and get the country tags, so we could figure out like which countries are mostly responsible for like all of the orbiting objects in our atmosphere, and then we like use that as like a little information slide to kind of like say to those countries like, hey, you're the ones that are putting debris into space, so could you like invest more into removing the debris? So it was like, yeah, it was Russia and the USA were like kind of joint with like something like 6,000 orbiting objects each, and then China had like it's 3,900.
Now, so now that we have our debris, we know what it is, we know that it's there, we had to think about what we can actually do with the debris, like how can we get rid of it. So we thought about three main things that have been currently used to get rid of debris. One of them was nets, right? It's a pretty simple concept if you think about it. The idea is, right, you get a net and you have a piece of debris, you throw it at the debris and you drag it down to Earth's atmosphere. This eliminates the debris due to it melting in or like burning up in the Earth's atmosphere. As you know, when something enters the Earth's atmosphere, it heats up greatly. So if we do this with debris, it obviously gets destroyed, right? There's obviously negatives to this. If you think about it, you don't want to like go around throwing nets on pieces of debris all around the Earth. That would take forever. So then we had to think of other things. We did research and we found out electromagnets. Now, how can we actually use electromagnets? Well, electromagnets, we can attract the pieces of debris. These are mostly like old rocket pieces, satellites, stuff like that, using magnetic forces. The greatest benefit of this is that there is no contact between the debris and magnet. This allows for us to have a lower risk of damaging any parts we are using. Like with a net, you have to throw the actual net into the debris, right? And that's a physical component that could damage something. So it's more risky, obviously, using more physical components. The final one we considered.
Okay, folks, I'm gonna have to cut you off there because we're out of time for the team, and we need to bring in the next one.
Sorry.
But thank you very much. No, it's fine. Thank you very much for that, and make sure that you submit your project by 11:59 p.m. on the platform to make so that you're considered for global judging level. But thanks for that, and I'm gonna bring in the next team now, which is Team Random Foresters. So we have Felipe, and then I believe we have Bai as well from the team. Hang on a second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello. Hi.
Okay.
So.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Can you quickly introduce yourselves, and then let's get on with the presentation.
Okay. So my name is Felipe. I am an engineering science student at the University of Oxford, and I'm from Brazil. I arrived this month, and I'm very happy to be participating in the NASA SpaceApps in London.
Welcome to London.
Yeah, and hi, madam. My name is Xindian Bai. I came from Beijing, China, and currently I'm also a freshman at Oxford studying math and computer science. I met Felipe, 2 weeks ago, and we fastly became close friends, and we're going to cooperate. Yeah. So he will do the main parts of that presentation to you.
Okay, go ahead, Felipe. If you can share your screen and make sure you click on the share audio checkbox at the bottom.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So. Can you?
Yep. Hang on a second.
Where do I?
Go ahead. So
where do I click the?
Click on present. Where's your presentation?
Okay. Here it's here.
Your slides. Okay. There you go. We got there.
All right.
Go ahead.
So I think we can start. So good afternoon, everyone. We are the Random Foresters team, and we'd like to present you our solution named Engine for Fast and Scalable Fire Prediction. It's quite a descriptive name, and we're going to explain why we went for a specifically fast and scalable approach to this challenge, which is the Spot That Fire Challenge version 3. So the thing is that, as we say here, fire does not wait. Fire detection and prediction is something that, as we say here, needs to be accurate, but also needs to be agile. Because, for example, if a place is catching fire and you take too long to spot that because you're using, say, a very sophisticated algorithm, then that may result in the loss of lives and irreversible damage to the environment and things of the sort. And there's also the social problem, which is that people need to be aware of the environmental problems that are happening, say, in their country. And that is something that happens a lot in Brazil, for example, where there are many illegal fires in the Amazon, but people in other regions of the country basically depend on social media and on news to know that those fires are happening. And that reflects how inaccessible many times fire prediction data and fire detection data is to people. And that is why we chose to develop EFSFP, which is quite a mouthful, as a solution that is as fast as possible when detecting and predicting fires. And we were inspired by a research project named GlobFire, which is cited below, which basically consisted of taking the fire spots detected by NASA's FIRMS system, which takes like satellite data and spots places that are catching fire. And then they group those fire spots into into fire events, say, because many fire spots may just be a part of one big fire, and they can be attacked as one single problem by authorities, for example. And we introduced a new simplification, say, to their algorithm that allowed it to run in real time, which is we took the data that is available on NASA's LANS, which is a part of the FIRM system, which basically has the coordinates of places that are catching fire on the Earth and the time at which they're catching fire. And we turned that time into a new spatial coordinate. So as you can see, we turned a 2D problem into a 3D problem, and we ran one clustering algorithm on the whole thing. And the result was this image right here. You can see that, for example, in here, this fire, which happened in Paraguay, for example, is taken to be one single thing through time. So that made it run way faster, so much so that it took us 13.56 seconds to cluster over 10 million fires spotted by the FIRM system. And this could be run on any modern smartphone very fast. So it is very easy to, say, distribute this technology over many processing units. And we wrote some simple and scalable code to do this. Xinjiang wrote it, in fact. And it is like short and easy to debug. As we said, we went for the simplest possible approach. It runs in n log n time complexity, which is something more technical, but basically it means it runs reasonably fast. It is easy to modularize, say, put it in an API for you to use in other applications. And it can be used in early alarm systems. Say, like, well, we can use this simpler algorithm to act as a first alarm of when a fire is happening, so that, say, the authorities can use then on a specific region a more sophisticated detection algorithm, and then they can act. And it can also be embedded in apps for civilians, so that they can become aware of the fires that are happening in their country and pressure the government to combat those fires. And there are some next steps to making sure that our solution can say, reach its full potential, which are, say, to conduct sensitivity analysis, which is to detect what points in space are the most prone to having fires. And that is something we can do very easily by just counting how many times a given point catches fire on the FIRM's data set. And we can also conduct correlation analysis using the clustering we have produced, which is like you determine how often do 2 points participate in the same fire. What can you do with that data? Say in the future, one of those points catches fire. Then you can alert people next to the other point that point might also come to catch fire. So that is very useful for fire prediction. But anyways, like the hard part, which is processing large amounts of data, we have already done. This would be like wrapping the solution so that we can do all the good it is capable of. And for us to do that, we have to put it in applications, right? So as I mentioned earlier, we can do a fire awareness mobile app for civilians to get to know the fires that are happening in their country or all around the world and pressure politicians. And we can also produce early alarm systems for authorities for it to be used coupled with other fire detection and prediction systems. And that is it, everyone. Thank you very much. We're very happy to present the solution to you because it is very scalable. It is very simple to implement, to embed in different kinds of applications. And we believe it can do a great amount of positive impact in fire prevention in the world. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you for that, Felipe and Bai. So how many people are there in your team?
Okay, so there are 4 people, but 2 of them are in Brazil right now, and we can only communicate with them asynchronously.
Oh, I think they're the ones I was trying to contact earlier, right?
Yeah. Well, we sent them the message, but like there's like it is lunchtime in Brazil and so on. There are several complications related to that, so they couldn't come.
Okay. Well, I hope they're at least watching, or we can share this with them afterwards. Obviously.
Yeah, we sure will.
Yeah. And are you able to submit your projects via the platform? Make sure you don't miss the deadline.
Okay. Yeah.
9 p.m. tonight to make sure that you're qualified for the global judging as well. I think we've still got a few minutes before the next team comes on. So what else are you busy with, aside from obviously this hackathon? So you're all back, at Oxford University, I guess. And
Yes.
how are things there? In school, is social distancing practice? What's going on?
Okay, yeah, we've been Xingjian and I have been talking quite a lot about that. Like Oxford's teaching system, which is based on tutorials, I believe is one of the systems that adapts the best to situations like this. Yeah, so I think we're very lucky to have that right now. So we're gonna have to we're gonna get to actually meet our tutors in person and have tutorials like we normally would. So that is something that's very good. But lectures, which are like traditional classes, are going to be online. Yeah, and labs, we haven't received a final word on it in engineering, but they might be online, they might be in person. It's going to depend on how things go. Yeah, people in college are being very strict about social distancing and about wearing masks. So like every time we go out to the street, we wear masks and so on. I have mine right next to me right now. But I see that many people in the street are not wearing masks, so that's kind of worrying. But I hope that things will resolve themselves. There are like vaccines close to coming out. Apparently, we don't know exactly how close they are. But yeah,
And
things
Oxford,
are.
obviously, is one of the universities working on
Yeah,
it actively.
yes, that is something we're very happy about. That things are being done like right here next to where we're living. But yeah,
In
that's
terms
my
of
account of what's happening. What about you, Xinjia?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I was gonna actually buy. Like, obviously, there's like a
Yeah, I'm sorry.
there's like a different, I guess, approach or acceptance, of all these mask wearing and social distancing, things that we're trying to implement and follow. But in Asia, it's especially, I guess, in China and Korea and all the other countries in Asia. We're much used to this. To it. I guess it's like just a normal thing when winter comes on and all that. But yeah, what's you?
The situation in China. Yeah, I'd like to talk more about it. So I think in February and March, the situation is very serious in China, and everyone was not allowed to come out. The government just distribute the food to uh, to each society, and then we get the food from the organizer of that society. So that's what we do at that time. But now I think the disease is basically controlled in China. However, like my parents and my friends, they still wear masks when they go out. So I think the awareness of this disease in China still remains at a high level.
I think we should still be really watchful. We're not out of the woods yet. I think we're far away from getting out. Uh, so yeah, I think we all definitely need to make sure that we're practicing social distancing and wearing masks and all that. I think it's a small sacrifice,
Right.
to save some lives, I guess. But thank you both for presenting. I'm gonna bring the next team now, and yeah, make sure you submit your project. Right, so I'm gonna bring in Sleepy Medics. The team's here now. We've got Look, and then we have Ashaya. And do I call you Zizi? Well, how do I pronounce
Zizi is fine. Yeah.
Zizi? Okay. All right. Do we all
Hi.
have the whole team or not yet?
I think there's one more.
Okay. When he or she comes on, then we'll bring the person in. But just quickly introduce yourselves first before we start with your presentation.
Yeah, so I'm Ishaya.
I'm Zizi. I'm a third year medical student at Imperial College London, along with Ashaya as well.
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that. I'm a medical student.
Yeah, and I'm Luke, and I'm a third year computing student at Imperial.
And which challenge are you trying to address?
So we're doing the sleep shift scheduling one.
Okay, and okay, interesting choice of team name. What's behind that?
Well, yeah. Okay, so he said he'll be coming on soon.
Okay.
Should be in here in a couple of minutes.
Okay. So how's it? So is one person gonna share the slides and then you all will talk through it? Is that the plan?
Yeah, if that's possible. Also,
Yeah.
because I've got the presentation and we wanted to show a bit of the application we've been developing. Can we like change the
We
screen
can,
sharing?
yeah. As long as you can share it here, we can do that.
Yeah,
We have
that'll be
Danny.
fine. Okay.
Hi, Danny. Can you quickly introduce yourself, and then we'll
Yeah.
get on with the presentation.
Ashmaya, or is it individual contributors?
And are you with Imperial as well?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I know all you guys. I'm a medical student and I'm third year as well.
And Luke, are you from Imperial as well? I'm not sure if I heard.
Yeah, I'm from Imperial.
Okay, so this is the
I do
Imperial
teaching.
College team then. Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
also had an Imperial College team last year. Right, so let's get on with the presentation. Who's sharing the slides first? And can you make sure that you check the share audio box at the bottom? Go ahead, Ashaya.
Let me have a look.
It's okay.
This should be it.
Okay.
Can you all see that?
I will add that to the stream. Okay, yep. We got it. Go ahead.
Okay, brilliant. So our project name is Sleep Well, and we're Sleepy Medics. So basically, our idea is based on the fact that sleep is really, really important. We don't give enough credit to it. It's something we can't survive without. And we found that, in terms of sort of the medical fields and also in sort of space, like looking at how astronauts optimize their functions, they don't sleep is not very well understood. So there's a lot on nutrition, diet, exercise, not a lot on sleep. So we found this challenge a really good way of sort of trying to bring that all in to optimize sleep and thus help astronauts sort of improve cognitive function. So just on this slide, there's a few things in space, particularly things like microgravity, slam shifting, different light-dark cycles can really, really affect sleep and your circadian rhythm. On the ground level, these are the sort of components that affect your circadian rhythm, which is basically your internal body clock of when you wake up and when you go to sleep. And what we're trying to do is sort of look at each of these aspects and tackle them and try and make sure that we're developing an application that can make sure we sort of optimize on that and take advantage. So we've come up with a set of algorithms based on a lot of research that we've been doing. And so the first thing that we've looked at is how genes can affect your circadian rhythm. So there's something as chronotype, which is sort of like just genetic makeup can make you either a morning person or a night owl. So we've included that in our algorithms. The other things are things like exercise. So we've read through a lot of articles looking at exercise. When is the best time to exercise? And so what are the effects of exercise, as well as what kinds of exercises are best for sleep. One of the things is that exercise can sort of release endorphins, which is a feel-good factor. And as well, we found that afternoon exercise is sort of or early evening is the best for sleep times. And then the last thing I've got on this slide is the when to eat timings. So timing of meals is really important for sleeping because of the just the amount of hormones that change and the levels of hormones that change after you eat a meal. So things like insulin, ghrelin, leptin, they all affect the orexin circuit. And orexin basically promotes wakefulness. So we've been looking at different hormonal levels throughout the day, how they affect meals, and how we can position meals in time to promote healthy and sort of effective sleep. So yeah, basically we've been working through a few set of algorithms. The first algorithm that we've sort of developed was based on chronotype. So we've been looking at, we've used a questionnaire that we found based on the morningness, eveningness questionnaire. And that questionnaire comes up and it allows you to, it tells you your chronotype and it tells you when your melatonin onset starts. And so the first algorithm is to determine when your melatonin onset starts and when you should be going to bed. The second algorithm is just an input for how long your work and rest times are. And the third algorithm is sort of scheduling that all in. So if you've got your bedtime, then you schedule your, say, for example, if you're an astronaut, you'd need to do, say, 2.5 hours of exercise. So you need to fit that in. And it's also recommended that you spend some time eating. So spending sort of 20 minutes dedicated to your meal really promotes good digestion and sort of metabolic health overall. So scheduling in 20 minutes at least for a meal time within a 30-minute period after your exercise. We've done that because if you're eating any time after that, it's kind of risky for sort of muscle atrophy. If you want to maintain muscle mass, you'd want to eat within that window. So the third algorithm is basically just scheduling everything together and putting it all in a good time so that you're programming everything for optimal sleep levels. We've used a whole range of NASA research and papers and data sets to look at all of these different aspects. The other things about this is that we're looking basically primarily at astronauts and sort of their daily schedules, but it's also useful in other places where circadian rhythm is disrupted. For example, in traveling, if you want to minimize jet lag, we're hoping to use this tool to create a schedule to help you plan your meals and exercise and sleep. The other thing is shift work. So shift work is known to be very, very detrimental to your health. Long-term shift workers can come up with a huge whole host of health problems. So we're also hoping that this tool can be used to organize optimal work schedules. The other thing is that we've created a little add-on or a customizable feature for our algorithms. So if you've had, say, a bad night's sleep, you can sort of put it into you can use that as an input, and then the application will schedule a nap time for you. So these are our sort of further developments. We want to look at like sort of circadian entrainment and for space sleep shift, for docking and undocking procedures, because that's a little bit different than sort of just normal space flight. Doing a bit more research on the effects of microgravity on sleep, because we also think that there might be an effect, and we'd want to factor that into our application. The other thing is sort of improving personalization. So we'd like in the long run to collect data and look at each person's sort of sleep patterns, eating patterns, see what works for them, and then hopefully improve their experience. So I think that's all I've got on as a sort of introduction. Luke would like to share with you a little bit about what he's going to show you. So I think I've stopped sharing the screen.
Yeah, so hopefully this should work. I'm just sharing my screen now. There we are. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, so very quickly, during this time, while the medic guys were doing their research, I was building an app to try and realize some of this. So maybe I'm an astronaut and my name's Luke, and I put in my login details, and up comes a little dialog box to show me my schedules. I don't have any right now, so why don't I create one? For example, you could be an astronaut, but you could also be a shift worker or whatnot. Those features haven't been implemented yet, but they might be in the future. So these are all of the different criteria that we just talked about. Maybe I want to work for about 6.5 hours, and I put in various answers to the survey, which will help determine my chronotype. Currently, I'm just putting completely arbitrary answers in, but this will help the program determine when the best time for me to go to bed and wake up would be. So if I submit this, you've got a little schedule created for us. We can view that. It'll tell me when to wake up. It'll tell me when to have breakfast, and it'll give me some dietary pointers. Same with my free time, my work, lunch, dinner, and rest. So again, there's a little bit of, there's some tips here as to what you should do before bed. And suppose I wanted to create my schedule for today. I would update this, and maybe I didn't sleep well. So I'd click that I didn't sleep well last night. It would generate a brand new schedule for me, and I can look at this, and we get a little nap time here. So hopefully we can catch up on that sleep we missed. So that's about all from me.
I think you're on mute.
I keep on doing that because I didn't want to disturb the presentation. But yeah, perfect timing. We ended, in perfect time actually, 4:15. So I think at this point I'm gonna have to bring in the next team. Thanks for that presentation, and submit your project by 11:59 p.m. tonight for the global, to be considered for the global judging. So thanks for that again, and I'll see you, at another
Thank you very
presentation,
much.
and
Thank
we'll bring
you.
in the next team. Thanks.
Cheers. Thanks.
Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna bring in Team Spirit. So we have Vlad, and who are the other team members? The two of you, right? Okay. Quickly introduce yourselves.
So earlier, I'm going to about the sports. I really know
You're unfortunately you're breaking up. You're breaking up a little bit. Shall we go to Varun? Varun, can you turn your camera on?
Yes.
Hi, Varun.
Hello. How are you? I'm Varun, and I'm also a part of the team, and we are really excited to be here.
And
And
Akshay?
yeah, and I'm Akshay. I'm from Cranfield University as well, doing masters in astronautics and space engineering.
Welcome. And when Alia is free. Okay. Go ahead.
We'll try that now.
Yes, that sounds better.
Okay.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Introduce ourselves.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Alia. We're just starting this astronautics course. I'm a chemical engineer, and I've been working on some of the kind of layout and concepts for the app.
And I'm Irina. I have some experience in software engineering, and I've been mainly working on the code project.
Great, to all of you. And who's going to be sharing the presentation?
I'll be doing that.
Okay, so if you can share your screen, and if you can click on the check box where it says share audio at the bottom left.
Oh, and then share audio. So it's the screen, and then share.
Okay, I'm gonna add it to the stream. Okay, so if you bring up your actual, there you go. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so we are Team Spirit, and that stands for Space Propulsion Innovations and Realistic Interplanetary Travel. So we wanted to showcase details about various spacecraft propulsion methods and also put it into a bit of context for the user about how that can be used to travel through space. So we started an app, and it begins with an introduction about some achievements through propulsion innovations over time. And then we come to a display of various different types of propulsion, existing, conceptual, and fictional. So we wanted to go into details of ones that are actually used, but also use some references that slightly younger members maybe, or people not in the field, have seen in different references, and try and link them together and bring in the interest levels for the engineering. So we have an app demo on various slides. So this is the beginning of the app. So it goes through an introduction, which you can skip, and then we come up with a grid of our different types of propulsion. So then we have various features available for the different types of propulsion, and the first one we'll look at a demo of is the details. So we've got different things. We can select one type, so we've selected solid rockets here, and it comes up with a picture and some different details about it, which you can then compare with the other types. So it has things like the maximum velocity that you would expect to get with it. That has been based on some calculations using mass ratios, and then we've also gone over some advantages of that type and potentially some risks and a little description about it. Then we've got an immersive experience so that the user can select a different type of propulsion and journey to an exoplanet. So this uses the user's device camera, and you can see you select the type of propulsion from the grid, and then you show the camera to the room, and it will come up with little planets. And when you click on one of these, it will allow you to confirm the journey, and it will come up with an indication of traveling through space. Then it will come up with a notification saying that that type of propulsion has reached its destination, and it will display a little detail on the exoplanet so that it really gets users interested in where you might go with this technology. And the notification that comes up is delayed to really emphasize how long it's going to take to travel to these destinations and really give an indication of why it's so significant to come up with faster ways of traveling so that we can go and explore. And the planets are set on the coordinates using a NASA data set of equatorial coordinate systems. So then we wanted to really link existing types of propulsion and real life science with some things that people might have seen in films or books or other references, perhaps in the news, and really get people interested who might not have considered this industry before. So you can see here, again, you select the type, in this case, liquid propulsion, and then it will come up with either a news article of some really interesting story. For example, this one was showing how a Tesla car with a Starman dummy was launched into space using a liquid rocket. And so then we do have some areas which we'd like to develop further. So we'd like to include a discoveries feature where it really goes into detail on particular discoveries, both in terms of space exploration and in terms of things that are really useful on Earth that have been developed through research into different types of propulsion. And we would also like to build on the function, we've used the camera for one immersive experience. We'd like to try and use more components on the device to give even more interaction. So that is a quick run through of the app so far. We do have some calculations and coding and other demos behind it, but I think that's all I had to say for now. So thank you. It's been a really fun project to work on.
That's good. Any word from the other team members? Like like what were you specifically working on, for example? What were the roles in the team? You've got a bit of time.
Well, I was working on the different types of propulsion methods, and I was responsible for calculating the maximum velocity using the given structural ratios, and I also optimized the best structural and mass ratios to get the velocity. Yeah.
Hi,
That's
Jen.
about it.
So I was working on a couple of JSON files that Irina used for coding, and then she used it in her app. And I also worked on a few calculations to find out the time required to reach the nearest star system, and we had to scale it down. So I was working on all of those things, and it was a wonderful experience.
And
Yes, and like I said, I mainly work on the coding, integrating my colleagues' work into the application, and also using data sets and other databases with information that we.
And I was working on getting some layouts and that Irina could use to structure the coding, and doing some research into different types of propulsion and links to interesting references.
Okay, and at the moment you're all back at school, right?
Just started back, yeah.
Yeah. And are you all attending classes in person, or you're doing it virtually?
We will have quite a lot in person. We're about to start. Some of the modules will be done remotely, but luckily we've got a lot in person.
Okay. And where are you all from? Like, are you all from the UK originally, or did you? Because the previous team before you, I think they're one's from Brazil, one's from China. So it's really very interesting the makeup of the teams that are joining us at Space Apps London. So I just want to check, what's
Well,
it's a very diverse team, right? That's good.
Yes.
yeah, I'm from India.
I'm from India
And,
as well.
I'm from the UK. I'm from Romania.
Yeah, it's a good team composition. And Varun, where are you at the moment? I'm envious. You're outside. You're indoors.
Yes, I
We are all
apologize. I had to come outside to get a few essentials, but I really wanted to attend the presentation and everything, and yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're actually that is not very noisy where you are, because every time I call in from like a coffee shop or anywhere outside, it's just so noisy. And I was looking at this software where it can actually like minimize some of the sounds around you.
Yeah, it
I
can
cannot.
probably suppress the sound so that it makes the call clearer.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're coming
Yes.
in very clear. I still haven't
Thank you.
made it, haven't made it work yet, but I only downloaded it yesterday, so we'll see. We'll see about that.
Well, I think it's a really useful sort of a thing, and it's going to be really helpful for people like us.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much for, for that. The next sim is not here yet, but it's fine. Any other things you want to share? What else are you like gonna be working on? Maybe outside apps. What else is keeping you busy?
I think we're all looking forward to the start of our group design project. So for our course, we're going to be working on space kind of application projects in big groups of 10 or 15 people. All sorts of different things, from the design of the rocket to the communications to mission planning and everything. So looking forward to that.
That's very exciting. So you're all on the same course, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
what's so exciting about a group project, because we can team up again since we've done such a great job. And I mean, we feel like we had fun and we are proud of what we have created, so we would be very happy to do this again.
Great, great, great. I'm actually envious because when I was a kid, I actually wanted to be an astronaut and be working on something, but that didn't happen. But at least I'm still involved with something to do with space, so I'm glad to be able to do this yearly. So thank you very much again. I can see some of the team members from the next team are coming on, so I'll bring them on. And yeah, good luck, and make sure you submit your project by 11:59 p.m. tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Jen.
Okay. Hang on. Right, I'm gonna bring in the next team, which is Team Sky Folks. Okay. We have Vlad.
Yep.
Vlad. And is Andrea joining us? I think her. Oh no, she's here. Can you turn your camera on?
I'm having some issues, some software issues, but we'll be using Vlad's camera.
Okay, yeah, I can see. That works. Okay, so can you quick? Yeah, Vlad, I think you're on mute.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Go ahead. Okay, there's an echo. I think from Andrea's. Maybe you can just use your laptop. Okay, go ahead.
Better now? Can you hear us?
Yes, that's better.
Not sure how to. Let me see if I can share my screen.
Do you want to quickly introduce yourselves first?
Yep, go for it. Hi, my name is Andrea, and I work as a software developer at Intel. And the reason why I'm doing this challenge is because I really want to, first of all, solve problems and have fun while doing so. It's my first time participating in this challenge, and I can show you what I built over the weekend. And hey, me, Vlad, I started sharing my screen already. Hope you can see it. I'm a software developer as well in finance environment, and I like hackathons overall. And I think this was a very good opportunity to have fun with some master data. It was great overall. Yeah.
And glad you made it. It was last minute for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's not waste time. Let me add your presentation to the stream so people can see it. And yep, so if you maximize that and go ahead with your presentation.
Well, we already presented ourselves. I will start by talking about the problem. So the problem that we chose for is hurricanes. They're increasingly posing a threat to our humankind, especially because their frequency has increased over the last 40 years or so. And not only that, it impacts us both from economical perspective. You can see the cost in billions for all major top 10 hurricanes in the US, as well as they impact us from the environmental perspective and social impact as well. So we came up with a solution. Our solution is a web app that uses real-time satellite data as well as Google Maps in order for people to see and users to see wildfires, hurricanes, and earthquakes happening across the globe. What's specifically interesting about this is that beyond all this nice fancy UI, there are also some predicting machine learning models built using a random forest that enables us to take hurricane data and the location that you point on the map, and using the satellite data from NASA, you can predict if it's going to be a hurricane or not, what are the chances in that space. The reason why we've chosen this is because we wanted to, we've seen the news, there are natural disasters that are happening everywhere, and they are increasingly impacting us more and more, not only us, but also the wildfire, not only us, but also the wildlife. We wanted to predict hurricanes in order to help people get a head start in what they might prepare, maybe help animals to get evacuated from different areas. This also has an economic impact, and another reason why we chose this is to predict what this cost might be from an early stage.
So I'll take over from here. Thanks, Andrea. So this is the reason, the problem, why we choose it. And now I'm going to talk a bit about the architecture. So what we built three kind of a microservice architecture, and we've built 3 services which are up and running right now. Well, 2 of them, one is still in progress, but until now we have the UI application as a web application. We have a prediction service which does the machine learning and predicts if the chances to be a hurricane or not in a point on the map where the user selects. And we have some hazard analytics service which uses some Kaggle datasets that we found that exposes to the UI all those tags, the pings that you've seen on the UI that Andrea showed earlier. Overall, the UI uses Google Maps, as you've seen, to display the big world map. We have a pre-trained model, which we built with the data available from the challenge resources. And we query with a REST API, we query the Modis API, and we access real-time satellite data. The tech stack is React, Python, Anaconda, machine learning, HTML, and Saikai maps. From the data, we have real-time data from Modis, as we said, and also we use the transversal Cirrus bands datasets. So basically, the hurricane dataset, the images from the satellite, there was 6,000 points in this dataset. Those are after we did some analysis, we cleaned the data and we grouped it together. This is by color, satellite images grouped by color palette. And the other one is a principal component analysis on the RGB data from the images. So this is part of the data cleanup. The model that we managed to build in time, and we have it, it's pushed the code, all code is available on GitHub. It's using random forest, as Andrea said, to analyze the satellite images. We are doing images processing with Jupyter Notebook, 6K data points, as we said. We are saving the model. So we did model, we saved it, and now we can load it into memory to do real-time predictions. And it's fully integrated in the app and with Google Maps. So whenever a user clicks on the map from the Google Maps, the server calls the Modis API, gets the satellite data in real time, and after that runs the machine learning model to predict the chances of being a hazard there, basically. Our future enhancements that we didn't have that much time to build, and we want to continue, is to build some analytics, more analytics into the tool to raise the awareness and have some nice visualized tool. We want to enhance some of the data sets with maybe dust, sand probes or something like that. And last and not least, I think something to mention is that we want to deploy it in AWS. We didn't have time. Now we did it on our local, but in future we can do that as well. And all the code is in a public repo. We posted it here. And if we manage, if Andrea can enter again, we can show you the app. If we still have time, we can show a live demo as well.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you still have a bit of time. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. 1 second, because it's on Andrea's computer. She needs to connect. Let me mute myself.
Okay, I think we have her screen correct.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us now? I'm not sure.
Yes, yes. So is the demo is done, right? Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. So thanks for that. And so what else are you busy with, outside Space Ops Challenge?
One of the things that I am also involved is coding instructor. So other group learning Python. I've also passionate so we do things new and I like to get things on why like this one coding challenges that I think because they really let you to learn a lot of things in a very short amount of time.
No, and for me, it's usually outside of work. That it's usually meetups that I like to join.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite keen on joining this technology community. I quite like it. That's the reason why we're here.
Okay, that's great. So, right. So to all the teams who joined us today, make sure that you tune in again around 5 p.m. because we're gonna announce the winner for the local London judging. So there are like three different judging levels: London local, and then UK. But that's obviously, very much apart from the global judging. Everyone else, every one of the teams are eligible for global judging, as long as you can submit your projects by 11:59 p.m. tonight. So don't forget that. And yes, so we'll see you again at 5 p.m. And thank you, Vlad and Andrea. And yeah, so tune in at 5 p.m. and we'll know
Thank
the
you.
London winner then. Thank you. Okay, folks. So yeah, as I said, we'll around 5 p.m. We'll choose the local winner for London, and the local winner for London will be going on to the UK level judging, which actually starts at 5 p.m. But we have a few minutes to to get them ready for that, because there are other cities that are going to be participating in that as well. So I think we're the fourth or fifth one that's going to be presenting. So thank you to all the teams who joined today. I'm just gonna play another video while we're all waiting for. Sorry about that. While we're all waiting for yeah, for the winner to be selected. So let me just share this video right now.
This is Margaret Hamilton, head of the team that developed the onboard flight software that landed us on the moon. She coined the term software engineering, got a special prize from NASA, got a Presidential Medal of Freedom. 50, what if she got a thank you from the moon? This is the Ivanpah Solar Facility. Hundreds of thousands of car-sized mirrors reflect from the sun to create energy. But what do they do at night? What if we thought of them as pixels? Hundreds of thousands of pixels, individually positioned, forming an image visible from the sky. A 1.4 square mile canvas, bigger than Central Park, bigger than over 200 Eiffel Towers put together. Is that even possible? Calculate the trajectory of the moon. Find the perfect angle in Earth's studio. Record the aerial coordinates. Talk to these people in California that run Ivanpah.
Constantly and the operations team at Ivanpah.
Call the engineers in Israel that control the mirrors.
We have Gil and Dotem and also Neta.
Can we point those mirrors at the moon to create a giant image of Margaret Hamilton made of moonlight?
Just 1 minute. I need to think about it. I can't give a positive answer yet.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Hang on a second. Let me close that one. So, yeah, we're back. And thank you again to every team who presented earlier. And obviously, we'll see all of you again, for the global judging. And congratulations to our winner for the local London judging, and it's I'm glad to announce it's Team Spirit. So this team is going to join the UK level judging at around, actually it started now, so we still have a few minutes to be able to join them. So yeah, team, congratulations, and
Thank you.
any words and few words from you?
Well, Irina worked really hard on the coding and everything, and Alia spent a long time on the layouts, and Akshay is still in quarantine, and he was still able to contribute a lot. So, they did a really good job.
The whole team did a very good job. We worked very well together, and
Yeah.
everybody had their own significant contribution. So I guess it pays off.
Yeah, it was really great fun.
Great. And actually, so you're in quarantine.
Yeah. We have like I think October 15th. So
Okay, so I will be. So each of the team members are gonna be a 3D printed trophy, as far as I'm aware. But we will be in touch with you about that.
Okay.
But for the UK level judging, we need to be a bit stricter in terms of time. So make sure that your presentation is around 5 minutes. I know I wasn't very strict with each of the teams that presented but for the
Okay.
next one, let's try and keep it to 5 minutes. So if you want to just get prepared for that, and I'll send you the link to connect to for the UK level
All
judging.
right.
And congratulations again. And I will see you in a bit. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.